Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. UPSC CSC 2026 prelims results are out and our heartiest congratulations to the students who made it. And unfortunately the students who could not, please don't worry, we are here with you and we have come up with an effective strategy that is going to help you clear your examination in the next attempt. So let's talk about the strategy. First of all, you need to identify which category are you falling in. So after you've tallied your answers, you would know how much marks were you scoring. If your score was somewhere near 70, okay, anywhere near 70, then it is safe to say that it was a near miss. This time the paper was quite unpredictable and ambiguous, so the cutoff is expected to go lower in comparison to what it had gone last year. So if you were somewhere near 70, that means that okay, you're on the right track, your foundation is clear, your concept is clear, now you need to practice more, correct? So it was a near miss for you if you fall in this category. However, if you were scoring below 60, that means that there is a foundation level gap at the moment. The concepts are not clear and the foundation is not strong. So for you, we'll have to focus more on the foundation, more on concept building, more on standard books and NCRTs. And here we'll have a different strategy. But whichever category you are falling in, that is not an issue. We just need to understand first what the problem is, right? And only then can you actually take a step forward towards the solution, right? So if you fall in the first category wherein it was a near miss, then for you right now our focus is going to be on mains answer writing and optional, correct? Because for the current moment, like in the current few months, we'll be focusing on mains, and after that January onwards we'll shift our focus more towards prelims. Because your foundation is strong, it's very high, there is a very high chance that next year you will clear your prelims and then you will have to sit for mains. So we want to utilize this time right now, okay? We'll help you with mains answer writing and we'll keep optional on high priority. Optional on a high and a very high priority, okay? CSAT practice also, we'll help you with that CSAT practice, because if you were not able to clear your prelims this year, was it because of a gap in GS or was it because of a gap in CSAT? That is also something that you need to understand. So CSAT is definitely not something that can be ignored. Right now the strategy is going to be that till 2026 December, we'll focus on mains with the mains answer writing and optional practice. And then we will switch to dedicated prelims mode. January onwards, we'll switch to the prelims mode, right? For optionals, what is the strategy that we are going to follow? First and foremost, PYQ analysis. A strong focus on PYQ is going to be there so that we understand the trends, the high yielding areas, the repeated areas, and we can focus more and more on that, because the goal is to actually help you attain very good marks in your optional, right? So PYQ first strategy is going to be there. Then standard books and class notes. Now these class notes already will have data from all these different reference books and all these different standard books, and then these class notes are going to help you a lot in building this foundation, right? Once everything is completed, our focus is also going to be on preparing short notes for every topics. Now the relevance of short notes actually comes in once you are revising, okay? You might not actually understand the relevance of short notes now, but once you are revising and the D-Day is going to come, you have only limited number of days with you. At that time, it is extremely important that you are able to revise the entire syllabus, okay, and more than once. For that, you need to ensure that you have short notes also. First of all, you have full-fledged notes for a proper foundational understanding, and after that, you should be able to summarize all those notes, and we're going to help you with that. Summarize all those notes in very short note formats, like 25-30 pager only for each paper, paper 1 and paper 2, okay, so that you can revise. Only keywords are going to be there, and once you have a strong foundation, you will be able to revise n number of times, and maximum revision only is going to maximize your output, okay? So this is also something, short notes, one pager type, something that we're going to help you out with. Weekly answer writing is going to be there, correct? Because only understanding the concept is not enough. Answer writing also needs to be practiced, and topic wise value addition will also be given. whatever is given in the syllabus of UPSC, that is something that we have to cover. Other than that, based on PYQ analysis, other areas, new topics also emerge, and that become a part of our value addition. Okay, and all the other things that we feel are going to be important and can be asked in the future UPSC examination. Okay. Now, if you fall in the second category, category B, that means there's a gap in your foundation. So for you, our strategy is going to be different. We are going to build your foundation, and foundation will be built by NCERT. You absolutely cannot skip NCERT when you're building a foundation, right? NCERT standard books and newspaper reading. Essential, very essential. Newspaper reading. You will have to get into a habit of reading the newspaper. First of all, for your current affairs, linking the current affairs to the static, as well as for improving your comprehension skills. This year's prelims examination question paper, it actually taught us the importance, the value of comprehension skills, good comprehension skills, that you do not panic once you see a long question. You're able to read the question on time, you're able to understand the demand of the question and then approach the question calmly. So all these things will also be built. The skill will also be built through newspaper reading and of course current affairs and its linkage with static. Okay, this is going to help you with your concept building. Then we'll help you with micro notes, foundational level notes, micro notes, breaking down all the important things, all the important terms, jargons and everything, and understanding everything from the level of scratch, foundation, right? An optional early start. So even if, there is a gap in the foundation and we need to start with standard books and NCERT and the standard topics, still we will focus on having an early start for optional, because optional is definitely a game changer. Now we have this IAS foundation course, which is a complete foundation course, which means prelims and mains preparation is going to be provided to you, right? Live online classes are there for you from our Karol Bagh and Noida center. Medium, both English and Hindi. 400 plus structured classes you are going to get. Module and subject wise printed notes. So note making is also not a hassle. 5 mains capsule series books also are going to be provided to you. Prelims practice series book, evaluation of 500 mains answers on our Drishti learning app. So you can keep on writing and getting your answers evaluated. Correct? AI powered learning, we are going to help you with that also, mock tests and everything. 24 mains tests with evaluation. Prelims test series for 3 years, current affairs classes for 3 years, and current affairs magazine home delivered for 3 years. Okay, so these are all the amazing features that you get in the IAS foundation course. The goal is to give you a strong foundation, because this year's examination question paper, it actually taught us that surface level reading or understanding is no longer enough. You will have to deep dive into the concept and have a proper conceptual understanding, right? So for any more information, please call us at the number that is given here. Okay. Moving on to the timeline that we have for category B students. So right now, like from today onwards to September 2026, we are going to focus on our basics, NCERT and basics, right? Core subjects, polity and economy. And we'll also start with optional, and we will inculcate the newspaper reading habit. So all these things are going to start. They are going to be our focus till September. After September, like from October to January, we are going to build more on the mains part itself. January onwards, it will be more prelims focused, but we are going to build on mains first, right? So we first started with our standard books. We started with our core subjects. Now we are going to build on that. We'll start with answer writing also. Answer writing practice for mains will also start. Then for optional also, we'll have value addition. Value addition, I already told you, PYQ analysis is something that we are going to do. And based on the trends that UPSC has been following, we are going to come up with new areas of value addition, right? PYQ answer writing will also be given, and GS plus CA integration. Current affairs integration has to be there. As I mentioned earlier also, that newspaper reading, you have to do that for your current affairs updation, as well as linking current affairs to static. Static questions are also most of the times inspired from the current events that have been in news, right? After that, like January onwards, February to May, it is going to be prelims oriented. So 50 prelims PYQ daily, 50 PYQs daily, so that you get into this habit of solving questions. Okay, you develop your speed, your brain starts functioning faster, and you start developing your speed. 5 to 6 revisions of the core subjects like polity and economy. 5 to 6 revisions, because 1 revision, 2 revisions, they are not enough. You have to recall actively and in time. Correct? And mock tests are going to be there for GS and CSAT. CSAT is something that absolutely is not to be ignored. Not to be ignored. You might be scoring, great in GS, but if you did not qualify CSAT, then unfortunately you won't be able to write mains, and that is very, very devastating. Okay, so we have to focus on CSAT as well, and then there'll also be an analysis. So this is going to be our plan, right? This is going to be a full-fledged plan, so that you have so that the next attempt that you're going to give, it should be absolutely, it should drive you towards success. Okay, so the learning that we get from this year's examination is that finally we absolutely need to move on. Results have come. It is okay if you were not able to qualify. I know it gets sad, it gets very devastating, but we have to move on. We have to move on. It is not the end of the world. We have to move on, and there is always another chance that we are going to give to ourselves. So in the next attempt, we are going to come back stronger, with a better strategy, with a better plan, so that we can ensure our success. Correct? So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.